Captive bred rainbow fish can live in a wide range of water conditions. In this video, we're going to take a look at the water parameters in which they will thrive in. Hi, I'm Russ and welcome back to another video. So like I say, today we're going to look at the water parameters in which rainbow fish will thrive in. Now we'll start by talking about temperature, because temperature is the easy one to get into. So like I say, they will live in a wide range. So your temperature, you're looking at between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 24 to 28 degrees Celsius. Now the cooler the water, so if you're looking at, you can even drop these down to like 72, but you're going to lose the coloration of the fish. They'll come quite slow. So, and if more towards a higher range, 82 to 84, then that, what the higher temperatures tend to do is lower the oxygen in the water. And so obviously rainbow fish love oxygenated water anyway, so you should always be running an air stone. But the higher the temperature, the lower the oxygen level in the water. And the higher the temperature, your rainbow fish won't live as long either. It will speed up their metabolism. So really, ideal temperature for your rainbow fish, I would say really between 76 and 78. This tank runs at a 78 degrees, and as you can see, my rainbow fish are really healthy. Now for great temperature control, I would personally advise 2 heaters. I would personally advise 2 heaters in every aquarium anyway, just in case one fails, you have one to fall back on. Larger aquariums, you're gonna get a more constant heat through the water with 2. In my angelfish tank, I have a heater on one side, on the other side the intake and the outlet for the filter, and there's a built-in heater in there too. So it just keeps that temperature throughout the tank a lot more constant. Now we're gonna take a look at the more contentious side of the water parameter game, and that's your pH, GH and KH. Now while I've done the research on this, I didn't realise just how crazy it is. Everyone has a different opinion on it, and all I can put that down to is everybody's water is so different. Now the water that comes out of my tap has a pH of 6.5. There is literally 0 GH and 0 KH. So I do add a buffer to my water as it's going in. Now this is where it all goes a little bit kind of crazy really, because everyone has different opinions. I speak to a guy at work who also has fish, and he doesn't put any buffers in. He believes that because the fish are bred locally, they're used to that kind of water, and he's probably right. As I say, but he lives 30 miles away from me, so my water's different than his. I don't know what his water comes out the tap at. So as I say, mine comes out 0 KH, 0 GH with a 6.5 pH. Now your KH is just buffers your pH, and you want to kind of keep your pH as stable as possible. So I do add a small amount of KH buffer. I've just tested this tank now before I started filming, and this tank keeps, and I do keep it at 5 KH. Now the KH range really should be between 5 and 20 degrees, but what you need to bear in mind is when you raise the KH, the pH will raise too. So it is this crazy world of you don't want to go too high, obviously. I do talk to someone on YouTube and her tank is at 8. So as long as you're keeping it between the 6.5 and the 8, I think you're going to be great. Back in the day when I started keeping fish in the 80s and 90s, KH and GH just wasn't a thing. It was just a case of you use your tap water, you put your fish in, everything was great. I've come back into the hobby a few years ago, and regarding water changes, well, it's all just changed so much. Regarding water parameters, I should say, it's just changed so much. So like I say, your carbonate hardness will control your pH, and that is crucial. You want to keep a nice steady pH. Next, GH. Your GH, your general hardness, that is a test of how much minerals are in the water. As I say, my tap water comes out at zero minerals, so I also add a GH buffer. I don't add a lot because you don't want to go too high. Your fish need minerals in the water to survive, and your plants will flourish off it as well. So on the test I did before I started filming today, my GH is currently on 3. So that's kind of a little bit low, because it is believed really GH needs to be between 5 and 15. I will not change that until I do another water change. My fish are healthy in this tank, so I'm not gonna mess about with that. I'm gonna keep it as the amount I put in every week. I take the same amount of water out every week, so I kind of know what I'm putting back in there. So all I can say really regarding your KH and your GH. So KH, obviously it is important because it regulates your pH, but you can also regulate your pH by bogwood, peat, botanicals such as Indian almond leaves and I can't think what they're called, the little pine cone things. They will help keep your pH stable. As for your GH, all I can say really is if you don't add a buffer and your fish are looking healthy, just don't fix something that's not broken. I do think regarding the water parameter thing, I think people just make it way too complicated when it doesn't really need to be. It's always probably good to ask where you go and buy your fish, what they suggest regarding your water parameters. Do they suggest you add buffers? Who knows? I'm in Manchester, as I say, my water parameters are pretty much 0 on all those, whereas you can go to other parts of the country and you'll be throwing out pHs of 8, KHs of 8, GHs of 15. So depending on where you live really is depending on what you do with your water. Like I say, always seek advice from where you buy your fish from. Sorry, I am having problems today. Keep turning my camera off. So as I say, don't fix what's not broken. If your fish are thriving in the water parameters that are in your aquarium, then keep them at that. I would ask what your opinion is on KH and GH. So if you could leave some comments in the description, in the comments this week, that'd be great. It'd be nice to see what other people do on their aquariums, to be perfectly honest. Be great to hear, be great to talk to you all. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video, and if you have, please click the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon.